Welcome to Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Tax Insight here on the Lakeshore's Good Neighbor WOMT. We got Jeff from Hawkins Ash joining us once again this morning. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Terry.
IRS letters and notices, that's today's topic.
It is because, with multiple stimulus plan payments, increased complexity of the tax code, and just a bunch of new forms, I don't think there's an easy return anymore. And because of this, we've seen an increase in IRS and state notices. Now, most of the notices are due to the IRS matching program. And, no one likes to receive correspondence from the IRS, but having an understanding of them can lower your stress level in case one actually does come.
Absolutely. So let's start breaking it down. What kind of notices have you been seeing for clients?
So the biggest one that we're seeing so far is the stimulus checks that are not reported correctly on people's returns. Maybe they received them and said they didn't, or maybe they didn't receive them and said that they did. So that's the biggest thing that we're seeing. We've also seen things like, if they have a balance due or IRS changes a refund for some reason, they need to verify identities, which doesn't happen as much anymore, but still happens. IRS needs additional information, or they've just changed the return for some other reason.
Okay, so can you give us some examples of notices that someone may receive specifically?
Many different kinds of notices, but the most popular is what's called the CP 2000, and it's printed right up in the corner. This is where the IRS collects data like W-2s, 1099s, and things like that. And they use this information to match what you actually report on your tax return. And, if it doesn't match, a computer automatically kicks out a notice. Most of the times, if you receive one of these CP 2000 notices, a human hasn't even looked at your return. It's just a computer generated notice.
Interesting. So what tips do you recommend then if someone actually gets a notice from the IRS?
The biggest thing is just don't ignore it and follow the instructions on that notice and make sure you just focus on that issue. Now, if the IRS corrected your return, let them know if you agree or disagree with their changes, and make sure you correspond back to them in a timely manner. And then lastly, you're going to want to keep a copy of that notice with the rest of your tax material.
So then how would I know? Because right now there's a lot of scams out there. How would one know if this is actually not a scam from the IRS?
So if the notice comes in the mail, which most of them do, and the information provided matches the return that you actually did file with the changes that they had made, you can feel fairly comfortable that notice is legitimate. But if something doesn't look right, talk to your accountant, talk to your CPA, or call the IRS directly. Now, in rare circumstances, you will receive a phone call, but this is very, very rare and occurs only after they've tried to send you numerous letters or notices. Just remember, an unsolicited call from the IRS, it should not be returned or even answered. And if you're concerned that, it might not be a legitimate call, also talk to your CPA or talk to the IRS directly. Last thing is you just may receive an email claiming to be from the IRS or from a state that says that your personal information, is needed for some reason, or to say that you're entitled to a large sum of money. This is most likely a fraud. And the IRS has set up an email account to forward those emails to, and it's phishing@irs.gov. Now, knowing a little bit about how the IRS processes returns and when it comes to how they do these letters can help lower your stress level when one comes. But just remember, in most cases, they're really only looking to clarify your account.
Jeff, a lot of great information here on the program every week on Tax Insight. How do listeners connect with the team at Hawkins Ash?
I would go right to our website, which is hawkinsash.cpa.
Jeff, thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you next week here on Tax Insight on WOMT.
This has been Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs. Learn more online at hawkinsashcpas.com. Hawkins Ash CPAs. Part of your business, part of your life.